Welcome to today's presentation. We will be discussing how to prepare for the FAFSA. FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. The FAFSA is the application that a student must complete to apply for financial aid. Before you can complete a FAFSA, a student and one parent must create a Federal Student Aid ID, also known as an FSA ID. This presentation will provide a step-by-step guide to creating an FSA ID. We will also discuss what documents you need to have handy to complete your FAFSA. The FSA ID is a username and password that you create to serve as your electronic legal signature. Your FSA ID will be used to sign the FAFSA electronically. Personal identifiable information, such as your name, date of birth, and social security number, are used to create the FSA ID. To create an FSA ID, go to fsaid.ed.gov. You'll need to create a unique username and password. Choose a username and password that you can remember, but that would be hard for others to guess. Avoid using personal identifiers, for example, your first name, your last name, or date of birth. It's very important that you do not share your FSA ID or password with anyone, not even your parents. This information can also be used to log in to studentaid.gov website, which holds all your personal information and financial aid information, including managing and accepting student loans. If you decide to write down this information, make sure you store it in a safe place. You will be required to enter your name, date of birth, and social security number exactly as it appears on your social security card. The information you enter will be verified with the Social Security Administration. You will be required to enter an email. Be sure to use a personal email and not an email that has been assigned to you by your school or employer. If you were to forget your login information, you would be unable to retrieve the one-time secure code if you no longer have access to your school or employer-assigned email. Therefore, please use a personal email that you can access. You will also be asked to enter your mobile phone number, but it must be a U.S. phone number. If you do not have a U.S. mobile phone number, be sure to uncheck the box in the field below which states, quote, "I would like to use my phone number to retrieve a one-time secure code if I forget my username or password," unquote. Again, be sure to use your mobile phone number that belongs to you only, because if you forget your login information, a one-time secure code will be sent to that mobile phone number to then be able to access your Federal Student Aid ID. Be sure to enter your mailing address and specify the language preference. If your mailing address is outside the U.S., in the state field, you can specify either Canada or Mexico or military, for example. You will be asked to choose and answer 4 challenge questions. The challenge questions can be used to help you retrieve your FSA ID or reset your FSA ID password. The answers must be between 3 and 50 alphabetical or numeric characters, and once the criteria is met, it will show a check mark below the answer field. You may also click on the Show Text box to review the answer field to ensure you typed the answer correctly. You'll be asked to confirm and verify the username and password you selected, your full name, date of birth, and social security number. For any fields that are masked, you can click on the Show Text box and the information will be unmasked. Be sure to click on the plus sign to expand the contact information and challenge questions sections to verify the information you've entered. Once you've read the terms and conditions, check the box that states, quote, "I certify the above information is correct and accept the terms and conditions," unquote. If you previously checked the box that states, quote, "I would like to use my phone number to receive a one-time secure code if I forget my username and password," unquote, you will see this screen which will send you a security code to your mobile phone number. Enter the 6-digit secure code you received in your mobile phone, then click Verify. You will then see this screen, which will send you a security code to your email address. Enter the 6-digit secure code you received in your email, then click Verify. Your FSA ID process is now complete. You can click on the FAFSA.gov link on the page to take you to the FAFSA website. If you choose to complete your FAFSA on the mobile app, you will be able to use your FSA ID and password to log in and begin the FAFSA in the My Student Aid mobile app. If you'd like to make changes to your phone number, your email, or your mailing address at any time, you may do so by logging back into fsaid.ed.gov and select the Manage My FSA ID tab. You'll enter your username, email, or mobile phone number and your password. If you forgot your login information, click on Forgot My Username or Forgot My Password to retrieve the information. If you cannot log in or if your account is locked, please do not attempt to create a second FSA ID. As previously stated, the name, date of birth, and Social Security number is matched with the Social Security Administration. Therefore, if you attempt to create a second FSA ID, the website will let you know that the information already belongs to an FSA ID that has already been created. For help logging in, you may contact the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid at 1-800-433-3243. As previously mentioned, your name, date of birth, and Social Security number will be verified by the Social Security Administration, SSA. Your information will have the status of either pending, matched, or not matched. To view the status, log back into fafsa.ed.gov and select the Manage My FSA ID tab. You'll enter your username, email, or mobile phone number, and then enter your password. Once logged in, you can view the status next to the SSA verification field. Pending indicates your information has gone to the Social Security Administration for verification and the results are not back yet. Matched indicates your information has gone to the Social Security Administration for verification and they have confirmed your information. Not matched indicates your information has gone to the Social Security Administration for verification and they were unable to confirm your information. If this is your status, you need to review the information you provided to ensure it is accurate. If you see an error, correct the information by selecting the Update Account Information link. Your information will be sent back to the Social Security Administration for verification. Contact the Social Security Administration if you believe their information is incorrect. To find your local Social Security Administration office, call 1-800-772-1213 or go to the website at www.ssa.gov. The FAFSA will ask questions about you and your finances, so have the information below handy. For the 2021-2022 FAFSA, you will need your Social Security number, alien registration number if it applies, your 2019 federal tax information, such as your 2019 W-2s, and or your 2019 tax returns. You will also need records of any 2019 untaxed income, such as workers' compensation or disability benefits. Lastly, you will need your current cash, savings, and checking account balances, as well as any investments not including the home in which you live in. If you are a dependent student, you will also need this information from your parents. If you are an independent student, you will also need this information from your husband or wife. Now, how do you know if you are a dependent or an independent student? For financial aid purposes, it is not sufficient to live on your own and support yourself to be considered an independent student. The federal definition of an independent student is one who meets at least one of the following criteria. Are you at least 24 years old? Do you have a child or children or other legal dependents who receive more than half of their financial support from you? Are you married? Are you homeless or at risk of homelessness as determined by the director of a HUD-approved homeless shelter, transitional program, or high school liaison? At any time since you turned 13, both your parents were deceased, you were in foster care, or were a ward of the court? Are you currently on active duty in the armed forces for other than training purposes? Are you a veteran of the United States Armed Forces? Are you an emancipated child as determined by a court judge? Or are you working on a master's or doctorate degree? If none of those apply to you, you are considered a dependent student and will be required to report your parents' information on the FAFSA. If you are considered a dependent student, your parent will also need to create their own FSA ID and password. If your parent already has an FSA ID that they used for themselves or someone else, they will need to use that same FSA ID. Parents that do not have a social security number cannot get an FSA ID. However, when asked to electronically sign the FAFSA, the parent will have the option to print a signature page instead of using an FSA ID. For this option, be sure to have a printer connected to your computer. Once the signature page is printed, the parent will physically sign the page. The signature page will show the address where the parent will need to mail the signature page. If a signature page is mailed in, it will take 7 to 10 business days for the FAFSA to be processed. This concludes our presentation on preparing for the FAFSA. If you have any questions regarding this process, please contact your high school counselor or the college or university you will be attending. Thank you for joining us.